Leeds Homeless Partnership. We started in January, well, December. From there, what we've done is we've progressed, but like we say, it's not all about feeding for us. We know that it's people falling through the cracks. We need aftercare, we need the relapses when they're coming out of obviously the drug rehabilitations. And what we're basically about is that we go out there and we do outreaches, and we do them 3-4 times a week, but we own a street kitchen. And this street kitchen is starting to get to where people are starting to not take the mick with us, but we're starting to get people who are coming down and they're starting to see our good, what we're doing is good nature, and they're starting to take the mick out of it. So what we've introduced is ID cards. So these ID cards are mainly for the genuine homeless. So what we're doing is we're going out on the night time, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and making sure we find the people who are dubbing down. These people who are dubbing down, obviously, they're going to come to our group, we're going to get the priority over the people who, you know, the less needy, the people who've got a house. Yeah, we're happy to feed them, we're happy to give them clothing, but obviously we need to get to the people who are actually on the streets. So we brought these ID cards out, and in the process of bringing them out, I had a meeting with St George's Crypt last week. When I introduced them into St George's Crypt, they were already out on there.
Yeah.
I reproduced them, they were in production, and they were going to be printed that day. As soon as I introduced them to the St George's Crypt, I found out yesterday that St George's Crypt are now taking my idea away, and they've actually started putting these into production themselves. So we're starting to go down the route where we're going to try and obviously work with them, but obviously we don't want to profit them. And what we're thinking that we're going to do is take it away as a business idea for them and sell it to other organisations all around England if it works. It started to work with our group on it.
Absolutely.
You know, and what it is we got homeless coming down to us at the very beginning, but then it started drifting away because obviously the homeless were coming down and seeing people who wasn't homeless, taking their stuff, so they didn't want to engage with these people. They was honest with me, they said to me, listen, I'm going to start fighting, and if we start fighting at your cause, obviously you're not going to like us, you're going to stop it straight away, so these people stopped coming down. So we've got to the root cause now, and we're like, right, hold on, these homeless people are now drifting away, and we've set up for homeless people. So we've gone back to the root cause of, right, listen, if we put these cards into place, the homeless are going to start coming through slowly, but they're starting to come back and getting the trust off us. You know, I've got a lot of trust on the street with these guys. This is what the Crypt, and obviously the police are not understanding. The Crypt is the only organisation that's out there that when you get a yellow card and a red card, and you need to use amenities and you need to get food or you need to get clothing or you need somewhere to stay, you have to go back into the city centre. So obviously you're on your dispersal, then you're going to get arrested, taken to court and £100 fine. So it's all a catch-22 for these guys.
Give them a 48-hour ASBO, don't they?
Yes. So the same thing with the yellow card is that you get given a yellow card and it never wipes off. So it doesn't matter if you come into a centre in 3 months' time, you're still on that yellow card. So what it is you get a yellow card and it's on your record for life, really, isn't it?
Right.
And it's on your record. So from there, you get a red card, and you get taken to court and fined £100. These guys don't have.
I'm just yellow card, Carl, straight away, Carl.
Yes.
What? Can I interrupt?
Yes,
yeah. We had a situation out there, I think we're 2 weeks back.
Yes,
we're setting up on the Monday. We go down and outlet AIDAN. AIDAN comes on a Sunday, he's ever present, we're ever present, or we try to be. We see 4 police officers around one of these guys, went up, we instantly knew it, right, we're Carl, so we've gone up, and this guy's genuinely homeless, he's in the doorways, he takes a tent every 3 days.
Yes.
And these coppers around him, you know, hawking him, basically. Aidan's gone straight over, I've gone straight over, the coppers are going, you've been yellow carded, Carl. So Carl's turned round and he said to him at that minute, he went, I ain't got it. And he said, Carl, have you got a yellow card? He went, no, I ain't got one. And copper turned round and said, that's because you won't accept it. Yeah. I turned round at that given time straight away and I said, that means he has not been served.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you haven't been served, that means at the end of the day you've got no jurisdiction.
Nothing.
He turned round the copper and went, it don't work like that. And I went, yes it does. I went, now easy.
What did
I said, now Carl is in our jurisdiction and in our duty of care.
What did he do?
The copper turned round and they went. Now, in normal scenarios, they would have arrested him if he hadn't have had that little bit of experience, that little bit of knowledge around him. But he held his own because he didn't accept the card, and that's the big thing. He ain't accepting that contract, and that's what it's about. But anyway, jumping back over to Hayden.
So with these ID cards, the police have actually started to relax, haven't they?
Yeah.
With the homeless. The homeless are telling us now that the police are starting to walk past them on the streets, even though they're sitting down. They're just walking past them. If they see these cards, they're walking past them because obviously we've had meetings upon meetings with the police, and And then we had a problem with Leeds bid. I don't know whether you've heard of it. Basically, these guys are the new guys with the hats who were in Leeds City Centre. They're probably in every single city across England. But in their job description, it actually says that they're here to clean out and to, contact relevant agencies and organisations and to contact the police of rough sleepers or professional beggars in Leeds, which obviously we don't condone professional begging, do it at all.
No. It goes on. I mean, there's fair few, but we pretty much know who the professional beggars are, because what they do is when we approach them with a carrier bag full of food and toiletries, I don't need it, I live like a king, you know. And they are out there. Don't get me wrong, but the police and Leeds Bid and Leeds City Council use that as an excuse, basically to shut these other homeless people down. What they're doing is they're labelling all of them as beggars, and it's wrong. And one of the big things is, it's about these beggars, take money tax-free. And we've already had one of the coppers turn around and say it's not fair that we're working 50 hours a week and we pay our taxes and they're picking 500 quid a week up. That's an issue. So because the police work for the Crown, if we all know who the Crown is, the Crown basically employ the police, therefore at the end of the day the Crown is associated with HMRC, it's associated with all of it. It's all about their revenue coming back in from the people that they're giving out. And because these beggars are getting money tax-free, which I don't condone, but if that's what they choose to do, then that's up to them. And if people want to give them the money, that's fine. But I've found a lot of issues from the police, they're not happy, and they nearly put the phone in, didn't they, that day when we were talking. They did. When he turned around and he's like that, and I says, but that's from your perspective, that this guy who's getting this money on the streets not paying tax, and you've got an issue with that. That's your own private issue. You shouldn't be using it in the power or authority that you think you've got to push this onto these people because they're not paying tax and you are. Why don't you leave your job and go begging? And then you ain't got this issue of paying the tax man. But anyway, that's off being track.
So what we did was, I arranged a meeting with Leeds Bid, and when I arranged a meeting, I didn't get just a manager. I got the CEO of Leeds, I got the CEO of London, and I got the managing director. I went with Brett from Real Change, and from there I put up a solution to him. I said, to save you resources and to save you policing time, instead of calling police and relevant agencies to come and move these, obviously giving me yellow card and red card to move these homeless people on, why can't they ring me, let me get into town, let me engage with these homeless people, and because I've got the trust, let me move them on out of the city centre, so they're not getting a yellow card, they're not getting a red card, and the police are not tied up with all the paperwork going back to the station when there's more important crimes out there to go deal with. So what Leeds did then was, Brett can vouch for me, that it wasn't the big CEO who wanted to take it on, it was his ambassadors. His ambassadors went, that would work perfect, because obviously they're dealing with homeless people when they're there to give information to people on the streets, you know, they're there to introduce people into the city centre. So they've started to trial this now, so they've took my number, they're emailing me regularly, Brett can vouch for me, can't you, Brett? I'm starting to have regular meetings with them. So if there is homeless destitution on the street, they're going to start ringing me, they're going to get in contact with me, and I'm going to make sure that I'm there within, I said to them at the moment, 40 minutes, but right now we're trying to build a hub. If we can build a hub on the perimeter of the town centre, it's not a catch-22 for them. You know, these guys, when they get a red card, when they get a yellow card, and they need someone or they need a shoulder to cry on, they're going to be able to come straight to our hub. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get right on the perimeter line. So obviously when they get kicked out of the town centre, they can come straight to us. We're hopefully going to get somewhere where it's got a couple of bedrooms in there, so obviously it's going to be like a halfway house. You know, we're not going to be charging these guys a ridiculous amount of money, we're not going to be charging them at all. But what we're trying to do is now is get the council on board. The council have been for 6 months not engaging with me. They've been sending the crib down, they've been sending Leeds Bid down, they've been sending everybody else to deal with their problems. So what I've done is I've gone straight on Facebook, I've made a video, and it's probably had about 2,000 to 3,000 views in a couple of days, and from there I emailed the council. As soon as that, they've got a homeless strategy that's in place, but it actually ran out in 2015. So right now we don't have a homeless strategy in place, so what are they running off? They're running off a 2015 strategy, but in their strategy it says that they've got a legal responsibility from 2003 to make sure that no homeless person needs to stay on the streets more than one night in Leeds City Centre. So I'm starting to address this with them, you know, and what I'm doing is I'm sending it in quotations. So every time I send an email, I'm sending one of their quotations in the email with it. So I'm sending, it's your legal responsibility. As soon as that, I got a response within 2 minutes saying, right, we'll have a meeting next week. But when I get a meeting, I've had a meeting with Brett last week with the CRIP, didn't we? and Leeds Food Aid Network. And then I've got another meeting with a crypt on Tuesday from trying to steal my idea for the ID cards and put them into production. But then when I go on Wednesday with the Leeds housing options, they want to bring the crypt with them to answer their questions. So what I'm saying here is that obviously you can see that Leeds City Council have got a say in their policy, and these guys answer every question that these guys have. I even sent them an email back saying, I don't understand why the crypt are going to be there with you. I've already got a meeting with the crypt on Tuesday, so why do they need to answer your questions on a Wednesday? And all I got back was, superb, see you then. You know, these guys know that I'm about exposing people, and I will go out there and expose them. And the least that they say to me is better for them in a way. But every meeting we go to, they're always asking us if I've got a camera on me, at Brett, making sure I'm not being recorded. Because these guys know that, you know, at the moment we're damaging their reputation. Me and Brett were sat in a meeting with Leeds Bid with 3 CEOs, managing directors, one from London, one from Leeds, and did they or did not Brett beg us to stop doing what we were doing? They were saying that we was damaging their reputation. These guys are multi-million-pound business, and we're damaging their reputation. And why we're damaging it is because we're giving it away for free. They don't like the term free. And when I first started this in January, they wanted to use me as an umbrella system. Don can vouch for me. They wanted to use me to refer everyone to their kind of services. So when they got let down, they fell through the cracks. They can go, Leeds Homeless Partnerships did that, Leeds Homeless Partnership did that, they referred you, he referred you. And I said no. So no one wanted to meet me, no one wanted to work with me. And I was called, Don can vouch for me, a Nazi organisation within the Leeds City Centre. A Nazi organisation. Was I Don? Because I was giving everything away for free. So obviously we've gone back to the drawing board.
So it's the labelling again.
Yes.
They've come in with the labelling and basically to break it down and get you in that situation. Every meeting Hayden's had, by the way, I was supposed to go, but something happened to stop me going. I don't think these people are ready for me yet, because when I get in there and I sit with them, they're just getting boxed off, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to box them off. Everything that they say, I'm going to bring it back to where it needs to be back, and it's back to the people. Stop reciting shit off pieces of paper to me. I'm not interested. Yeah? Come and talk to me, the man. Because we're all men, we're all women. Yeah, and that's it. And this is where people are in a situation where all these authorities think they've got some God-given right, and I'm like, you know, but I don't think they're ready for me yet. But go ahead, sorry.
The good thing about what we've done at the moment is like, when I first started, the council told me that I had to refer everything through them. So 24-hour emergency, ring them, I can refer everything through them and they'll deal with everything. Every person I give them, they didn't do nothing with. They'll probably give them a one night in St George's Crypt, and after that they didn't help them at all. So what we did was did our own research. So I went every single hostel in Leeds City Centre. I went, well, in the suburbs, didn't we, Dawn? And what I've got now is I've got every single referral pack for every single hostel. I self-refer now. I've got a hostel on board called Bracken Court. I don't know whether you've heard of it. It's one of the biggest hostels in Leeds, but they've got self-independent flats. So when you go there, for the first couple of nights, you'll be in shared accommodation. But obviously, that's just so they can assess you, make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself and that. And then from there, you've got self-contained flats where you've got your own bedroom, you've got your own living area, you've got your own kitchen, you've got your own shower facilities. You know, and this is how to get them back into society. But when they get into the hostel, they're classed as not homeless because they've got a roof over their heads. But these guys are only in a hostel for 6 months. So yeah, they get the priority A, but then they don't get the actual support that they do need. So what we're trying to build in, and like obviously the woman at the back was mentioning, that it's not all about feeding these guys. It's not all about going out there and feeding them. It's about the aftercare and it's about the relapse. So what we're trying to build is we're trying to build a structure where we are the start of it. So we do all the paperwork, we do all the self-referrals, we do everything that they need doing. Then when they get onto the detox program or whatever program they need to go onto, the second part's not done by us. So it's done by a third-party organisation, let's say Forward Leeds for drug rehabilitation. And then when they come after that, when they come out of that, it's obviously the aftercare and the relapse. That's our support then, what we're going to set up. So it's a 3-part stage. We deal with the first part, the organisations deal with the second part, and we pick them up for the third part. And that's what we're trying to get in place, because it's all about the aftercare and the relapsing. We know that these people are in there, they're in there for what, 13 weeks. Some people are in there for a year. You know, some people have got to do 12 months and give a bit of work back to these organisations to obviously get on their, to get off their detox. But obviously if we can pick them up as soon as they come out of that environment, and we can give them that constant 12 to 18 month support, that's what we're trying to do now. We're trying to obviously build a hub for it. A lot of people don't know this at the moment because obviously we've kept it to ourselves, but we have got a company on board who's actually given us a little bit of funding, not much, but it's a little bit